I do random things, cause Jason can do random things. I do random things, cause this is all I know. What's up, YouTube? Jason here with Byte My Bits, and I have a problem. Okay, I have a problem. I have a failing UPS. Not like you would think, though. Like, I've had I've had failed UPSs before, but it was usually like a battery thing, right? Like as soon as power went down, the UPS would fail because it could not pull enough load from the battery. This failure is much different. Okay, so I have two UPSs, right? Bottom, top. Now, I have, for the most part, before this started, for the most part, I had things kind of load balanced. So both of them were drawing the same amount, and then, power went down, whatever, it would kick in and they would die at the same time. But this top one right here, this bastard, this started doing this thing where it would just power down, trip the breaker, and just completely freak out. Like the bottom one, it's okay. And that's the older one. This is the newer one. This is the older one. This is the newer one. This is the older one. For some reason, the newest one has decided to take a crap. So there's that. Holy bananas, it is 87 degrees in here. It's super hot. And my makeshift fan cooling thing just doesn't really help very much. You like that? If it rains, that stops it, kind of. To be fair, I got a lot of crap in this room running, so I have a solution to at least lower it a few degrees. Coming soon. But before I get to that, let me talk about batteries and reviews, right? I got that new inverter. I used my batteries to do the review on the new inverter, which is still sitting in the last place that I used it or touched it. Since then, I have not hooked up my batteries to my entire inverter setup that you saw in the other room. So as you would imagine, since I have a failing UPS, I figured I might as well put the batteries back. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. Now, realistically, this is not that complicated of a job. And you might be wondering, Jason, why are you not just buying a new UPS? Well, there's a really good answer to that question, and that revolves around the cost of divorce. I just gotta make do with what I got right now. Now, the system has been unhooked for so long, right? Doesn't even turn on. Fun fact, these will not power on unless you have 12 volt hooked up to it. If you drain it and the capacitors or whatever drain and it goes down, you have to hook up batteries to it. Like, it just won't turn on, which is okay. Not a big deal. Yeah, okay, so everything's turned on. Right now, if I were to connect the positive to right here, it would spark. But I am a man who learns from his mistakes after he repeatedly makes them. Sometimes. I learned you just gotta get a little tiny piece of wire. Exhibit A. As you can see, let's see, maybe you can see. As you can see, I've used this before, right? It's just a piece of wire, insulated by plastic, but it's a small piece of wire, so the shock isn't bad. I'm not saying this is the best way to do this, but I'm doing it for the camera. You ready? Oh, damn! Okay, that did not go as planned. Ooh, holy shit. Okay, there has to be a better way to do this. Definitely do not do this. Yep, got that on now. Oh, now it comes online. Come on. Come on now. Giddy up. Hola, ¿cómo estás? There we go. Okay, so I had to turn it off and turn it back on again, but everything's staying on right now. Cool. Neat. So if you haven't got it by now, basically my UPS is failing and I have to take everything that's plugged into that and plug it into this battery system, right? Like my DVR, for example, my networking gear, for another example, all would just go down. And those are really the only two things that I had floating on this UPS battery, so, By the way, this little thing right here, look at this external hard drive, that is connected to what now I just powered down, my DVR. I'm having like drive issues, storage issues. I'm running out of space and I'm having some drives fail. Samsung 2 terabyte, kind of bad. Anyways, so I've been like trying to like put all the spare drives in there. I just don't have any more spare to spare. So basically I'm having issues with not only the drives, but also the SATA thing inside. It's a PCI to SATA adapter that just does not work very well, or there's something wrong with the backplane. Don't know for sure, but I bought a new SATA adapter that I also have to install. As you can tell, I've been doing a little bit of work here. I don't even have the top on it, so I gotta worry about that after I worry about the power. Before I show you the rat's nest behind here, I want little pre-warning. I am me, and this is what I do. I make messes and I never clean them up. So that's just, you know, hello, welcome to the channel. But also, if you would like to support the craziness over here and help me defend myself in the court of law, definitely use my NordVPN links below. Please use my link. It's the same discount as everyone else, but it's my link. And a completely unrelated note, I feel so connected to Johnny Depp right now. So here's the cluster F, as it were. And I have this stuff on top of it, which, am I gonna take this out? Probably not right now. I'll do that later. I've unplugged a lot of stuff just because it was powering stuff down, and I tried to minimize its effect, but now, yeah. So basically this is the system I had, right? 2 UPSs and 2 automatic transfer switches, right? Both of which, one would plug in to the regular standard outlet, one on each leg of 20 amps, right? And then the other one, if for whatever reason that power went down, it would switch to the backup. But then, because I did a review on a new inverter, I took the batteries away. I no longer had a battery backup, so it didn't really matter. I just plugged them all into there. I don't know why. But then, this thing would do a thing where it would like trip and like shut down and hard cycle everything, which would then feed back somehow into this, which would then feed back into that, and it would pop those breakers and the main breaker that runs to the sub panel. Freaking crazy, right? So now I'm just gonna use one of these automatic transfer switches to basically just be like, you know, a split, and then just plug everything into that. Ah, you can already hear the tears of Loki. And that's how you get that. See that? Now these are both plugged into the same power source. Obviously that's a bad idea. Now that I have my batteries set up, obviously I can plug things in over there. So I'm gonna do that, which I pretty much just separated everything to where it's like this, right? So there you go. Both of those separate entities plugged into separate things. Good to go. This whole thing is taking longer than I anticipated because 87 degrees just kind of sucks. I really need to work on this. But now that I have everything unplugged from the wall, everything's running through the inverter, it's got the batteries, it's set on bypass, etc., etc., etc. Now it's time to do what everybody should do, and that is test their backup power UPS stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go flip a breaker. Basically, since my upgrade, this breaker goes to the sub panel that controls everything that's plugged in right now, including the UPS that powers my main computer. So if I turn that off and the UPS kicks on, etc. Oh, you hear it in the back? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay, completely forgot that I did not plug that into the backup battery. That's my minor. Shit. Ah, that sucks. Okay, well, I'm glad I did that because that made me realize that even though the switch time on that inverter should be enough, or should be fast enough, the automatic transfer switch that switches over is not. I got it off eBay for like $10, so. Boop. So that means in order to be resistant to power outages, hopefully resistant to power outages, I need a power strip. And I don't have one. I'm kidding. Of course well, maybe. Do I even have a good power strip? Okay, believe it or not, I looked through the entire house and I do not have a high quality power strip. So, I thought of something. Basically, as you can see, source A, source B, source B. My whole thing was like, oh, I'm gonna run everything off source A. And then okay, I'm sorry about the voice. Run everything on source A, and then when source A goes down, boom, switch over to source B. Well, obviously that was not a good idea. So my solution is to set the preference to B, right? So that way it's always pulling from B. And if the power goes down, this should be able to switch fast enough. Oh, I forgot about this. So I set this up to like give me all the readouts of everything it's using. And I powered it down because I didn't really use it. So, but hey, at least cameras and stuff are back up. Now let's go turn it all off again. Doo-doo! Okay, that should be good enough. All right, let's go. Ooh, the mining rig is still up. That's good. Oh, I got a red. What's this red mean? Okay, that was just red as okay. Well, crap. Yeah. So to wrap all of this failure up, this runs off the battery just fine, switches over just fine, everything's good. However, for some reason, my DVR power supply or whatever, it just cannot handle the delay and the switching of the things, and it turns off. When I reviewed this inverter by Sun Gold Power, I actually mentioned how it wasn't fast enough, so maybe I should have thought about that before. Also, I just noticed that, like, if I shake this, wait, the monitor was still on, or just on. Oh, come on. Up. Ah, yeah. All right, moral of the story here is that when you put everything together with, duct tape and bubble gum, stuff falls apart and or gets old. Yes, I need to upgrade a lot of stuff. Yes, I need a new power or UPS. However, since I figured since my DVR system for some reason is super sensitive to power fluctuations, and it absolutely must be connected to a very consistent fast switching backup power supply, then I'm going to move it over to my bottom UPS and then just kind of shuffle some things around. Like, for example, my network gear, right? It's not as sensitive. It can handle that delay that the Sun Gold Power has. DVR for some reason can't. Well, I know that this one right here routes into the other room where I have my modem. So this already has its own backup power supply, so it can afford that switch time. Let's see, 13 amps. It's kind of stretching it a little bit. See, 13 amps at roughly 120, probably 4-ish. That's putting me 1600 watts on one CPU, or one PSU. So I definitely need to do a lot of things. God, look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. One of these days, hell, maybe sooner than I thought, if someone gets her way, one of these days I need to tear all this down and redo all the wires and just like redo everything and just like do a couple small upgrades, get some UPSs, some other stuff, figure it out. I do have a new batteries coming in for review, so at least I'll have a little bit more backup battery. But yeah, it's a mess. Yeah. Last check, and then I give up. God dang it! Be booted up. Just be the TV. Yes! Alright, well, that's it. I kind of sort of got everything to win. Everything seems like it's staying powered on. The DVR didn't turn off, but of course the monitor in there does because it's stupid. But anyway, that's where I am right now. The mining rig stays on. That could be good or bad because the power goes out. It's going to drain the crap out of this. I am pulling 1600 watts. That is a 200 amp capable battery. So at 24 volts, I absolutely need to redo all of this stuff. It's embarrassing. But I think for now, as far as the power issues go, I have a Band-Aid. It's not a very good Band-Aid. Whenever I can get around to be able to purchase more things, like a rack-mountable UPS that could actually handle 2,000 watts, I'm going to have to get another one of those just because I like to stack my battery backups. That whole system, that takes really expensive batteries, and I can get like a backup UPS that roughly within my needs for probably $500 to $800. It's just not in the cards right now. So again, I'm going through a very expensive, long, drawn out, like vengeful divorce. So can't really just go around blowing money like that. It is what it is. I was, however, sent this for review. This is an air conditioning unit, and it needs to exhaust, and I need to build that fan that I had in there. Looks terrible. So I need to build something to connect that exhaust. That way I can push the exhaust out the window. See that fan? That's pulling stuff out, right? So I need to make or buy or do something, and then I can hook up an air conditioning unit that should hopefully, it's not going to drop it down crazy, but I think it can bring, like, let's say it's at 87 right now. I think that air conditioning might be able to bring me down to like 84 maybe, somewhere around there. I try to like hook it up and just test it out, but literally without proper exhaust, you're pumping heat out one end and AC out the other. It's completely pointless. It cancels itself out. Well, I think I'm going to call that a wrap. I'm going to say this is a success on a very minor level. I need a lot of cleaning up to do. I got a lot of wires running everywhere. And when I was kind of touching some of the wires, some of them seemed a little warm. So, I got to make sure that I'm balancing some power and a little finicky stuff like that. But either way, I see this as a win. And I think that once everything settles down on the home front, and assuming there's still a home to have a front, I'm going to do a whole bunch of renovations to the server area thing, power. So as always, guys, if you like what I do, make sure to like and subscribe below. Please use my NordVPN affiliate link if you plan on trying out or renewing your NordVPN service, or if you want to donate directly, you can go to my Patreon and become a Patreon member. So thank you for watching, like and subscribe below, and have yourself a great day.